Every person who knows that a car has a driving wheel and 4 tires is not qualified or knowledgeable to talk about cars. But how do we know if someone actually knows about cars or is just giving the wrong surface level commentary on vehicles? How do we know that this guy actually knows his cars, or he's just watched the Fast and the Furious franchise and has a sports car as his phone wallpaper? Let's find out. Number 7. Man, there are so many new models out. Why don't you buy a new car? Easily one of the most infuriating things you can say to someone with a thorough knowledge of vehicles and when it comes to changing his car. First of all, cars are not iPhones, and Gen Z's unreasonable obsession to get the newest model of iPhone when it launches makes them think that every time a new model of their current vehicle gets launched, purchasing it is becoming a must. There are so many factors that you have to keep in mind when you're a car owner. Having a car is already expensive considering the global economic condition, and upgrading it unnecessarily means you're losing the perks of the current car that you have. New cars might have some fancy features, but at the same time, no one can say that they offer the new vehicle the same heritage, rawness, and the driver safety that the older ones did. The older cars were just so much more elegant, and let's not forget how sometimes the older cars are a lot more expensive than the new ones because of the material used. Sometimes cars age like wine. The older they are, the more elegant and expensive they can become. Some of the best examples are the 1968 Porsche 907 Works and the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Alloy Gullwing. So, don't pay attention to comments about how it's time to upgrade your car and how there's a new model out which is worth a lot more than your current vehicle. Number 6. What car do you have? Oh, it's a blue Mercedes. Every time someone tells the color of their car in response to what model of the vehicle they have, a kitten dies somewhere. We just know it. Getting a car is easily one of the biggest purchases a man can make in their life. In an economy where people are struggling to pay for a full tank of fuel, purchasing an entire brand new vehicle is a very big thing. So how absent-minded and careless does one have to be to invest in something that big with just so little interest and research? Usually when someone gives an answer like that, people who actually know about cars can immediately tell that they haven't really done any research and probably just went to the car dealership and gave a very vague and basic criteria before purchasing the very first recommendation. A lot of people who don't have much knowledge of cars and are planning to purchase one usually visit the dealership and say something like how they want a vehicle that has a good mileage, is generally more affordable, and has a bunch of fancy features in its interior that they probably discovered from their Instagram For You page. And getting a generally uninformed customer like that is stumbling over a treasure chest for the salesman. They usually just recommend their most expensive one, or if the customer emphasizes having a limited budget, then the cheapest and probably the trashiest one. After all, there's a reason why the cheapest ones are the cheapest and are still sitting at the outlets. People who do their research before getting a car and have adequate knowledge know that getting a car is an investment, and the small lacking that they ignore when they get a car might result in it being much more expensive than a really good but pricey car. Number 5. Cars aren't really that important. All they do is take you places, so you don't really have to spend much on them. We're sure you were expecting to hear something like that as soon as you clicked on this video. Well, you're not wrong. No matter how much people try to say that cars aren't that important, someone who knows their vehicles is fully aware of the hard work it takes to build a car and how even after decades of modifications, we still haven't achieved perfection when it comes to the perfect vehicle. But every single modification that improves the functioning of a car is insanely important. If you invest in the right things, then you'll probably benefit from it for the rest of your life. In fact, did you know that an average American spends 293 hours every year in his car? And if you ask us, that's kind of a big deal. So maybe cars really are as important as we say. Number 4. Why would you drive a manual? It's 2023, get an automatic car. Bet this one made your eyes roll, didn't it? An automatic car can never give you the adrenaline rush or the feeling of authority that a manual one does. The people who have generally done their research on their vehicles and generally have a real interest in cars know that the rev matching, heel, and towing along with just the thrill of changing gears is something that automatic cars can never give you. Modern and automatic vehicles might be easier to drive, but they don't give you the experience or confidence that driving manual gives you. Not only that, but driving stick also helps you unlock several newer models that comes only in manual for Focus RS, Cayman GT4, and even more basic cars like the 90s Gen Suzuki Swift. Number 3. "You should get an SUV. My sweet thing can drive through snow like it's nothing." First of all, do you even know what are the things required in a car if you expect it to perform nicely in a snowy environment? All you need is winter tires and the driving ability for the car to perform well in a snowy environment. Someone who gives you advice like getting an SUV to drive in a snowy area is most likely to ruin their SUV on 4 wheels just for the sake of it. People who know their mechanics of their car and have done enough research are fully aware and would never advise doing something like that. Why? Because acceleration is not the issue to begin with, it's the brakes that makes the difference. Yes, going for a 4-wheel drive helps with speed and has better traction, but what's the point of spending extra if a 2-wheel drive can do the same job and provide additional safety? All you need is more confidence on the roads and proper winter tires, and if you have that, then 2 can just be as good as 4 wheels. Number 2. Big cars are always safer. Be a smart one and go for the SUV. While we don't argue about the importance of size in some aspects, as far as safety is concerned, size actually does not matter. So when someone's telling you to get a bigger car because it's safer, know that they have no idea what they're talking about. The reason why SUVs are a better and safer option is that they have better security systems and are more technically modified to endure accidents. And if we take their word and SUVs are safer because of their size, then how do we explain the Chevy Blazer, which is easily the deadliest car in existence with more than 308 deaths per million vehicles registered? Number 1. Yeah, my car has a turbo too. Okay, well, how about you point it out then? One of the worst things that a non-car person can do is refuse to accept that they are a non-car person. Having a vehicle is a huge responsibility, and you are bound to have a certain amount of knowledge before you own a car. The number of people we see every day who pretend to know what car parts they're talking about or where those parts are even located is insane. How do you expect to know when a mechanic is overcharging you or faking damage to some part? If you own a car, then knowing the basics of its working, the functioning of every important car part is a must. With that being said, that's all for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And don't forget to turn on the post notifications. We'll be back soon. Until then, peace out.